Good morning. It is 5:12 in the morning. This is my car. We will be meeting at 5:45. We're meeting on campus and buses no longer work for me. We piled onto the bus and we're ready to head out. And my director Lorraine told me that I had to do soprano 1, so I was trying to quickly learn my part. We made a quick stop at Tim Hortons for a snack break and then practiced some of our music before our performance at a nursing home. Here we go. That's us! After our performance, it was back on the road for us and we were headed to Canada. Traveling through the border was much more scenic than I was expecting it to be, with so much water and greenery. It was just really gorgeous. Now this was a big day for me. I have not really traveled before, so I was so excited to get my first passport stamp ever. I was so proud of it. Really exciting. We are in Canada. However, most of our phones are still not connecting to service. Some people have service, but I don't have any service. And when I called Verizon, they said that it would just automatically work. But that has not happened so far. My phone does say Bell, where Verizon should be, so we'll see when I get service. We arrived at the theater and had a snack before the show, and then saw Gypsy. On the bus, the show was good, and we're headed to Toronto. On our way to dinner.
We're in Toronto.
We are in Toronto. Do you say Toronto or Toronto?
I say Toronto.
Like good little choir girls. Dinner was really good. It was an interesting mix of food and we were ready to start the next day. What were your thoughts on breakfast and where did we go?
Delicious. We went to France.
After our lovely breakfast at Fran's, we began our walking tour of the city. We met our tour guide outside of the Art Gallery of Ontario and we started our tour. We started in Chinatown and she told us a lot about some really interesting art and history, and we just learned a lot that day. My favorite fact is that cat that guards the neighborhood. So then we wandered into Kensington, another neighborhood with a lot of really interesting street art and lots of really cool vintage stores that we got to explore. I honestly felt like we were in a Wes Anderson movie or something, with just how picturesque and beautiful everything was that we were seeing, and it was just a really cool thing to experience.
Here, first thing, which is seasonal, is the garden park. This has been a feature of the neighborhood since the mid-aughts.
So after our walking tour was complete, we were kind of allowed to just wander the city and go to different shops. So we found this really cool Turkish shop and some really cool places that were just so unique and we would never find back at home. We even found this cat who seemed to be just a part of the neighborhood, and it was just such a lovely time. We found a store that was exclusively called Global Cheese. There's so much cheese. So we did our extra touristy things and we went to like a Canadian tourist store and loaded up with things, and we are loving the Canadian dollar to American dollar conversion, because we'll see something and it'll be like, oh, that's $7, like that's so reasonable, and then it's even cheaper than $7, so it's great. So now we're just walking around the streets. We have no destination other than wherever our soul takes us. Wow, look at what we found. We've broken into the university. The door was unlocked, so look how cool this is. That's so true. Somehow we managed to stumble into the graduation weekend for the University of Toronto, so we saw a lot of people, more than usual. And also black squirrels, which I had never seen before. We're at the Legislative Building in Ontario. I'm sorry, guys. So we just talked to the people at the Capitol Building of Ontario, back there, and they said that we can go on a tour, but we have some prohibited items that are not allowed in the building. I will not say what they are for the sake of this vlog and so as to not be Canadian criminals, plausible deniability and all that, so we're gonna go find a bush
and come back to things. All right, the goods are hidden. Do you want to tell us, Caitlin, what you are not allowed to bring?
You're not allowed to bring metal cutlery into the Canadian, wait, what is it? The Toronto Parliament building.
And if you didn't know, Caitlin has a fork collection.
I collect cutlery, and I have quite a bit of it that I
And
legally paid for.
the tour was really cool. We weren't allowed to take any videos, but we are coming back for our contraband items, which are legal in this country, just not in that. We are now headed to
Famous People Players.
Famous People Players.
Famous People Players is a really cool place that we got to go to where they perform blacklight puppet shows, and all of the performing is done by people with special needs, and they also serve you dinner because it's like dinner with a show, and it was just a really, really awesome and unique experience.
Bow your head and repeat after me. I have a dream.
I have a dream.
I'm going to make it come true.
I'm gonna make it come true.
So our choir performed a little pre-show performance, and then we got to see the show, and then after the show the owner had us recite an oath that was just super uplifting and positive about ourselves and our dreams, and that anything is possible.
I will do this
I will do this
by being thoughtful and kind.
by being thoughtful and kind.
Amen.
Amen.
Does anybody else want one?
Hello. We have to take. Alright, we have to take rapid COVID tests. Our instructions are. Ready? Oh, my eyes.
Doing this in general is extremely unpleasant. Doing it on a moving bus is even worse.
Negative. So we're at Eaton Center now, and we unfortunately had someone in our group test positive. So we did not go to the nursing home like we were going to. But we are making the best of it. We're at Eaton Center, and then we're gonna go to CN Tower. We walk down to the waterfront.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh my gosh! We're with a celebrity.
We just performed outside the CN Tower. And now we're gonna go up, but we have to put the music back first. Yay! Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
There was lots to look at on our wait to get up to the CN Tower. It honestly kind of felt like waiting in line at Disney because we were in lots of different lines, but there was always something to be looking at or reading about the tower itself. So after you get through all of the lines, you are ushered into these elevators, and they really pack as many people in these elevators as possible, which did stress me out because I am terrified of elevators, but we made it and it was totally fine. And the view is super cool because they have glass elevators, so you get to really just watch the skyline unfold as you're in it. We saw a comedy show at the Second City, and it was dinner and then the show afterwards. It was hilarious, and we had such a good time. And then we piled into someone's hotel room to play board games to finish out the night, and Finn showed us their amazing two-piece suit that they got. So we started our morning at Fran's for breakfast again, and then it was back on the bus to take another COVID test to see if we were all still okay to be able to go into a church and perform for their morning service.
Happy birthday, dear Alex. Happy birthday to you.
I braided everybody's hair. Say hi. It's so Canadian.
So I've seen Niagara Falls before, but I had only ever seen the US side of it, and I'd only ever taken the blue tour, so I was really excited to get to wear the pink ponchos and to go down to the water using this really cool trolley system. I was just so excited.
How close is this gonna get?
Thank you.
You've never looked better. We're back in America! How's your experience so far?
Doing great.
You almost died from asphyxiation in the trash bag.
We're good.
You can't even see that there's water happening. This is a really good view through my wet glasses. What are you thinking? We keep getting progressively more and more wet. Happy birthday to you.
It was Alex's birthday, so of course we had to publicly embarrass her by making everyone on the boat sing happy birthday to her. It was great.
Happy birthday to you. Woo! That was an incredibly pleasant experience, and now we are going down to get off. We did it!
We grabbed some food at the little concession area right off the boat, and then it was time to head home. We traversed our way through Canada and back to the US border.
Passed through customs, we're allowed back in the United States.
So we got home safely and just had the time of our lives. Thank you so much to everyone in TCE for making this trip so memorable. Hail to Pitt!